Before we get started with this episode, I just want to thank everyone who has watched the previous episodes. There was a large gap in time where I couldn't quite keep producing them. I was living in a place with suboptimal access to Wi-Fi, technology resources, people, where it just became very difficult to keep doing this. And I'm very happy to say that with a recent move, I'm starting this podcast back up again. Full throttle, more interviews than ever, more consistent than ever, and yeah, just wanted to say, super excited to get things back up and going, and I hope you enjoy this episode. There was an issue where it got corrupted. Don't we just love technology? It's improved. Technology has gotten much less frustrating today, but I lost some of the files at the end, so a lot of it is closing thoughts nearing the end. So if you want to find this beautiful guest somewhere on the internet, hear her music, links for those will be in the description. Alrighty, enjoy this episode. Mwah. Hello and welcome to the Things I See podcast. This is episode 12, and today I am joined by a very special musical guest. I've only been listening to her music recently, but I'm so happy to have her on the podcast. She is Naomi Psalm.
Hey, it's great to be here. Woo!
Absolutely. I'm so happy to have you here. You
Thank you.
definitely become one of the more interesting people in the outer circle of people I know, and it's
You
cool
as
to get
well.
to see you more. Thank you. I'm so flattered. So I want to jump right into talking about music, and we'll kind of go along and understand kind of some spiritual musical attributes through your journey. So when did you start music?
I started playing guitar when I was 13. Started writing poetry when I was 8. But the poetry I would write was about pain and agony and breakups and like really, really deep, heavy stuff. But I think I was channeling my ancestors or something. Because as an 8-year-old, I hadn't been through that much.
Right. I was going to say, saying you did that since 8?
Yeah. So when I was 13, picked up guitar because my parents are hippies and we always had jam nights. And so I'd be like watching their fingers on the guitar. What are you playing? I want to learn. So I picked up a guitar and didn't take lessons. I just watched and learned and started playing. And then my parents were like, sing now. We know you can play, so sing. So they really put me on the spot a lot.
Right. And I mean, that sounds awesome. I mean, pressure, of course, is difficult, but that pressure is magic. It's what brings you to be able to make music.
Definitely.
So what were some of like your early inspirations? Did it always start kind of this more ambient or more chill vibe?
Not at all. I mean, I grew up on Bob Dylan and Christian rock. And I wasn't allowed to really listen to anything else. Except when it was on the radio in the background when I was at gymnastics. But that was it. And so I started as a singer-songwriter with an indie pop twist.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And then 3 years ago I had some health issues with my voice, with mold poisoning. And that forced me to stop booking all my gigs. And that was my part-time job. And I couldn't sing anymore. So it was very devastating to lose my voice. And I had to go through an ego death because my voice was who I was. And so I figured out another way to make music because I would have died if I couldn't make music anymore. Yeah. So I'm like, let's get a computer, let's download some music software and make it that way. And I don't have to sing a whole lot doing ambient, chill wave music.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
Man, that I didn't know any of that about you. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, like, how's your singing now? Has it changed over the past 3 years at all, or?
I feel like, now that I'm starting to sing again, I feel like I have a stronger voice. I have a little bit more vibrato. But also recording, I'll record just like one ethereal line in my music. And I can record it 50 times if I want to get it exactly right. And it's really helped my skill as a vocalist, being able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. The skill side is always so different than the production side, where there's being able to sing and then there's being able to produce music through singing. Like how you format it, how it gets picked up in the mic.
Right.
Making sure it's all this cohesive piece.
Definitely.
Know? Were you producing music since you started music? Like
no, I started producing 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
When I couldn't play out anymore and then I had more time on my hands and let's try to find another way to music.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so with that kind of ego death, like, what are some of the other things that were happening in life? Because usually when there's stuff like that, it's all crashing down or something like that.
Oh, fuck yeah. Are we allowed to swear on here?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, everything had come crashing down. Around the pandemic, I started buying into fear because I was watching the news way too much. I was watching TikToks and I was watching, oh, this is about to happen, so buckle your seatbelts. And I was spending thousands of dollars on prepping stuff, and I wasn't sleeping at night. The anxiety was just out of control. And one night, I took some stuff, mushrooms. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that's when like everything changed in my life.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my whole past just disappeared. And I had this reality that my past doesn't exist anymore. So why am I operating out of that?
So powerful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the start of my world crashing down. I often think that when we have an awakening, our world does have to crash.
Yeah. That's why I asked what else was happening. I gotta hear this because it's how it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how you explained, just summarize that mushroom trip, because that is such a core feature in so many plant medicines, so many just like the idea that it's not that is an old story, but it is no longer a story. Like it's not your story. Like it's just a story someone lived, but like it is not yours. Mm-hmm. To have that much detachment from the past is so powerful.
Yeah.
It is unbelievably just incredible.
Oh, so liberating. I felt so weightless. I lost 50 pounds within like 6 months after that. I quit drinking. I looked and sounded and walked like a whole completely different person. So before that, I was nothing, basically. Mm-hmm. I grew up a Christian. I actually started speaking light language at the age 4.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Just on it.
Yeah,
wow.
Which my Christian parents would call speaking in tongues.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. And so I looked back when I was in that 9 years of nothing, not believing in anything anymore, thinking, oh, that was all bullshit. I was just speaking jibberjash. Well, what was I saying? But now I know it was real. Mm-hmm. And so I have been slowly able to filter back some of the beliefs in Christianity that I had before, that I'm like, wait a minute, that was actually true. I could keep that. Yeah.
No, it's such a difficult journey to return to spirituality stuff that you experienced in like raised religion. Like one big thing is, I think praying is so powerful. It's incredible for like magic, for just personal health, for so many things. Right. Praying is good. But if you suggest praying to some people, they can't handle it. There's some trauma around praying.
Yeah. There was lots of triggers that I had to get rid of. So my parents would force me to have quiet times, or AKA meditate, you know?
Yeah. For
so
real, meditate.
That's why I pushed away meditation for so long. Because when I would talk to people about what I was going through, and they would say, have you meditated? Do you meditate? I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've circled back around and realized that it is a good thing. Because, I just had realized that it was my parents that was forcing me to do this. So, of course, am I not going to do that?
Right. It's along the lines of you can let yourself meditate, but you can't make yourself meditate.
Right.
Right? We let that happen. We don't make it happen.
Yeah.
As soon as it has to happen, it's not meditative.
Right. And then I would come out of the quiet time and my mom would want me to report back to her what I heard from God.
Oh man.
And if I didn't hear anything, I would have to I would go in for a second quiet time, second round.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were just making stuff up, weren't you?
No, you know what? I was too goody two-shoes. I was such a people pleaser that I didn't have it in me to even make things up.
That's
I wish I did.
Heart. Yeah. Bless your heart for being good.
I mean, my mom, my sister knew how to play the game. She knew all the loopholes. She knew to wear 2 pairs of underwear for the spanking times.
Wow. That's planning ahead.
Yeah. Wow. For sure.
Yeah. It's so funny the ways kids can outsmart their parents. Kids are smart.
Oh, yeah.
Kids are crazy smart.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably smarter than most adults.
Yeah.
Kids are crazy smart.
Yeah.
Because they're just not scared.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. They just ain't scared.
Mm-hmm.
Were you a pretty brave kid?
Well, brave in certain ways. Skateboarding and doing all the physical stuff and keeping up with the boys always. Yeah.
Right. Do you feel like that impacted the way you wound up doing music? Like having that kind of era of your life? Did that inspire the music you do now, do you feel?
I think so. I was raised in a very out-of-the-box thinking family. And so I feel like that bled into my music and my creativity. And I'm always wanting to find different ways to do things and kind of paving a new path and not saying, well, this is how you have to music because this is what's selling right now. But really, like Billie Eilish, people like that, they get big by like, whoa, have you heard her?
Yeah.
She has a different sound.
Different, but not so different that it's like it has to be edgy.
Right.
Yeah. Edgy is just pushing the edge of what's normal. It's not taboo. It's just edgy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you look at the album that was after Billie Eilish's first album. Her second one it was very dark. And that was the edginess that sent her way ahead.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
But it wasn't offensively edgy.
Right.
Such a fine line.
Yeah. It's enough to be like, I knew she was probably thinking, I don't care what people think of this music. This is what's coming out of me.
I love that she has the skill to do that too. Like her ability to produce music, her voice. Like she's been doing this for a long time since she was very young. It's phenomenal and she knows it is.
Right.
You can tell like she's well aware that she can just do it because she just does it.
Right.
It's really powerful to watch her just make it so far just doing it.
Her brother though is a big part of it. He's fucking incredible too.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's crazy how especially you probably get this from the look of religion where there's a lot of hymns in my head. There's a lot of church music that's more in my head than actual music. And I was raised Mormon, so I didn't really choose what music to listen to till I was like 16. It just felt way out of bounds. I just didn't understand music. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But then I turned 16 and I was like, got it. I was like, wait, what? This is what music is supposed to be like? It's really crazy how that also influences how I look at music in the future.
So back to the hymns. Because you were raised Mormon, did you sing hymns in church?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Every single Sunday. And I still get them stuck in my head today. Like I'll just be in the shower and it's just like, put your shoulder to the wheel will come on, or just, what are some of the other beautiful Mormon hymns? If I have any Mormon listeners right now, they're cackling at the put your shoulder to the wheel for sure. They definitely, every Mormon would know that one.
What does that actually even mean?
It's probably a reference to the fact that, like, Mormons pioneered here into, like, Salt Lake City area and St. George area. So it's like, hey, keep pushing on, because God has your back.
Okay.
Yeah. Do your part.
Right. I was a worship leader for 14 years.
Wow. No way.
Yeah,
what
way.
ages?
20 to 34-ish, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so those songs pop into my head a lot. Yeah. I lift my eyes up to the mountains.
That's the crazy thing too, is my parents let me go to a Christian church when I was young. I was like, hey, my friend invited me. I'm like, I just want to check it out. And I'm like, yeah, sure, cool. And then they're playing rock music in this church. Everyone's dressed in like khakis and a polo, not the full dress attire. And it's like there's a stage, there's a coffee bar. Yeah. There was a coffee bar in a church, and my brain exploded. Because Mormons aren't anti-caffeine. They're anti-coffee and tea, because that's what it says in the Book of Mormon, verbatim. So the rule isn't caffeine, it's coffee and tea.
Yeah.
They didn't know what the fuck caffeine was back then.
Yeah.
It was purely cultural reasons. I mean, I'm assuming purely cultural, but hymns are weird. I realized the ritual feeling hymns had. Yeah. I mean, all music is ritual, storytelling, magic. It's great. But hymns are very cult ritual vibes, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them are very... Yeah.
So the church that I was raised in, that the music was quite the opposite. Like you said, the concert thing, it's like a concert at church. With the stage and everything.
Blows my mind even today, because I've only seen it once. And it's like... I mean, it gets people gathered and like... It's music.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. I love it. It's just... My brain just shuts down thinking about it. It's so against the word of God.
Yeah. But I learned how I could pretty much manipulate people through music. There's certain chords that you play. Yeah. You could get the whole congregation in tears playing E minor. Yeah. And like you're thinking it's the Spirit of God, but really it's probably like the frequencies of music.
Yeah. Whoa, really? Yeah. It's crazy to think about it. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Like the way music is able to move people, especially in a ritual setting. When you have the place you go to every time once a week to worship, that's like a place of worship. There's an energy there that you want. You're going to place the filter of God over every single thing. Right. Everything in that space is God. Mm-hmm. The building itself is God. Mm-hmm. That's what churches are. They are God. So all the music in it, God. Right. Yeah.
And I used to remember standing in the congregation and being like, I think I'm going to lift my hands right now. I bet people are going to see me that I'm like this super Christian person because I'm raising my hands. Yeah. But I was raised in this Protestant church where we were doing weird stuff. We're getting slain in the spirit, having holy laughter.
Wait, slain in the spirit and holy laughter? You have to tell me.
Oh, okay. So you would go to the front if you wanted healing or whatever. Or you just wanted to get closer to the power of the pastor or whatever. Mm-hmm. You'd stand up there and the pastor would be, and he would touch your forehead. And he wouldn't just touch it. He would like kind of push it and be like, if she's a little bit off balance, she might fall over. And that's a good thing. Because then the spirit is moving.
Yeah.
And then there'd be people dancing around, like moving around like that, like freaks.
What? I had no idea.
Wish I took a video of that. All the years I was. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And like that stuff always baffles me because it isn't like, of course, like I had my own section of Christianity that had weird stuff, but like you look at like Southern Baptist, or now you're telling me about Protestant, it's like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I remember I went to this youth camp.
Protestant youth camp?
Youth camp, and we all got the spirit of laughter. It's like a wave came across all 300 kids, and we all started laughing hysterically like we were drunk, and we were laughing well into like, it was well past like 4 a.m. that we were still laughing. And yeah, it was definitely something that overcame us. Something.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It is.
It's so funny how mystical Abrahamic religion is. Like Christianity, like it's all so occulty.
Oh,
like that shit, I believe in it, but like Christians aren't doing that, but they could be. It's this weird blend of, you find this in certain understandings of Judaism and a lot of Christianity, and very strictly in Muslim culture. No ritual, no divination, no witchcraft, illegal, bad. Mm-hmm. But they all do it. Like like prayer. Mm-hmm. There's totally it's called the Urim and Thummim, or the Urim and Turim. It's like a divination device that's in the Old Testament, and there's also like a somewhat comparable rendition of that in Islam, where it's arrowheads that they toss for divination.
Interesting.
So like they all have these roots in mysticism, in speaking in tongues and this weird stuff. But they're also all saying, hey, no magic allowed.
Right.
It's like everything about it is just magic.
Right.
The music, praising a god, like that's pretty magical if you ask me.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And that's cool. I love that. It's magical.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like it still, like religion still kind of defines some of your creativity, and do you like own that? Like, is that something you like?
No, I don't find I'm not religious. I'm not a Christian anymore. Mm-hmm. But I still, when I make music, I channel, and I feel like Source, Universe, God is giving me the music notes.
Yeah.
Because I will have no idea what I'm going to write or play. Mm-hmm. But Source tells me, get your guitar out and just press record. And like the things that come out, I'm like, did I do that?
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only have the comparable of dance, but when you like don't think about what you're doing, just entering that free flow, flow that is actually fully free.
Right.
Phenomenal. It's so great.
It's getting your mind out of the way, letting the magic flow.
Mm-hmm. Do you channel, like, would you define it as Source, what you channel, or is it maybe something else?
I don't know. It's like this creative energy. Mm-hmm. I don't know what else I could define it
that's
as.
Perfect. Yeah. Because, the energy of creation is Source energy. Right. It's essence. And we all have essence like that in our bodies.
Totally. And so the urge to create gets so strong in me, it almost feels like I have to, like, have an orgasm.
Yeah.
You can edit that out if you want.
No. That's exactly where creation energy is. It's in the sacral. It's in the bladder genital area. Like, it's that rising energy of, okay, I need to do this. It is the demand for creation. Yeah. It's so tied to sex. It's so funny.
It is.
Yeah. Where sex is also just primarily like creation. Right. Like, even if you're not creating a life through it, you're creating life materials through it. Like, it's just Yeah. Have you heard of sex magic?
Heard of it, but I haven't.
A lot of it is just based around upcycling sexual energy. So instead of keeping it lower, you can bring it up
Okay.
and move it out and through somewhere else. So it's like this super powerful practice of like using that energy for other things. It's super cool.
So like withholding, like not releasing.
That is one
that
example
one?
of it. It's interesting because sometimes releasing it is what you're supposed to do. It's this blend of what else is it going towards? Because not doing it at all is restriction. Doing it for the sake of putting it towards something else is power. If you're just restricting it, you're just not using it. You're just suffering.
Right.
Suffering.
Yeah.
Maybe not suffering, but you're missing out just
Right.
for no reason at all. So
maybe
yeah.
I do utilize it because I use it. I have intentions of manifesting during it.
yeah. No, that's sex magic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For example, like Egyptian inspired sex magic, they imagine the womb as the space between you and the other person. And orgasm fills in this space of just whatever you want, you can just have it. It's creation of something in an outer womb, a womb outside the body. Super crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But both people need to be like in on it too.
Yeah.
That's the thing about sex magic. It's like not even sex.
It's like you're creating this third energy.
Right.
Entity or whatever.
Sex magic doesn't feel like sex because it's something that's so else.
Okay.
It's creation without the consumption. It's just creation.
Okay.
That's how I would put sex magic. It's creation without the consumption.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe the consumption is required for the creation. It's a cool ebb and flow of it. But yeah, like specifically doing like celibacy, absolutely, if done right, you just get more creative energy. Mm-hmm. You get way more emphasis on doing things that you want to do. It's really effective. And it's like from just starting doing it, like it just keeps building up. You just got to let the energy build up and then also use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so intriguing.
It is. It's weird to say that, like, in a way I'm nerdy about sex magic, because it's not like, I don't even do it. Like, I don't trust doing it with people. I'm not really doing sex anything right now. But, like, I know so much about it. And it's totally just because I get to know stuff about it. I don't know. I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
The exchange of energy where we have, like, this meridian line in our body, goes up our spine, then down the front of our body. It's like this one ring. With sex magic, it's like all of your energy enters them and all of theirs yours. For a moment, you become them and they become you.
Wow.
At the same time, at different varying degrees. And it's when you channel something that's a we rather than an I, it's like you just feel everything suddenly. You become the universe itself. You feel the truths behind all illusions. Like, because it's not I, it's we.
Yeah.
Sex magic is just temporarily being more than I. And through that, you can manifest anything.
Yeah.
Anything at all.
Yeah.
Because you are all in that moment, because you are we with another. It's crazy.
Yeah, that goes back to like the Bible. There's a scripture where two or more are gathered. There I am, or there you could say their source is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, super crazy stuff. So, when did you move away from religion?
Right around the time that I got divorced, which was 2014. So they both kind of happened at the same time, where I was growing apart from my ex and realizing that's no longer aligning. And then at the same time, I'm like, Christianity is no longer aligning. So I would have to go to my car during church services to have panic attacks. Yeah. And I just got disillusioned by it. I started seeing through some of it and starting to see through some of the people that I would go to church with, they would seem so loving and so accepting. And yeah, just, take me in with open arms, accept everything. And then once I posed a question or said that I was depressed or said something that was going against the scripture, they would be like, you need to be doing awesome. If you're not doing awesome, then you're not believing the word of God. And they would just stop calling me because they realized that I wasn't like going along with everything.
Right.
And then I just started to see how conditional that was. Like, oh, if you're not one of us, then forget it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to hell, so
Yeah.
you're not one of us.
Yeah.
It's weird how cut and dry it is in religion, where I remember my mom would love reading books with Mormon authors because they were Mormon. That was it. There was no saying the book was good or better than any other author. It's just, this is a Mormon author, so I like them. And you find that with Mormon music, with all religious music, Christians love Christian music, which is awesome that they love that music, but it's so culty in that way. There's the in-group and the out-group.
Right.
You're either one of us or you're not.
Uh-huh.
And you don't get it, and you should.
Yep.
If you're not.
Uh-huh.
That's just, yeah.
And there's something about Christian music that within 10 seconds of hearing it, I know it's Christian music. And I have to change the channel.
Yeah. Even if you haven't heard it, you can just tell it's Christian music. Yeah. There's a lot. It's so easy to tell.
I don't know if it's an energy or what.
It is.
So this is interesting because I used to have a dog that would shiver and shake when Christian worship music was on, and like whimper and not want to be in the room. Yeah.
Man, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How does a dog have that kind of reaction to
I don't know, but it was like he was depicting exactly how I was feeling internally.
I mean, dogs can be incredible mirrors sometimes. So maybe they were just feeling what you were feeling.
Maybe.
Like, yo, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm happy to say I haven't heard a hymn in a long time. Of course, my mom's funeral, because she wanted to have the service in the Mormon church. I heard a few hymns. And, like, one of them is one my mom wrote. So it's like, oh, okay, that's sweet. But then the other ones, it's like, God, no. I remember this.
I want you to sing something. At least one bar or something.
Okay. So first I'm going to sing one of my favorite things. Me and my siblings actually still quote this. Just because it's so funny. So this is the Sunday school, like the it's not called kindergarten. It's the little kids class where
the nursery or
primary. It's called primary.
Okay.
Yeah. So primary school, where all the kids are gathered together in one big room instead of individual classrooms like with older kids. Okay. Okay. I looked out the window and what did I see? Popcorn popping off the apricot tree. Spring has brought me such a nice surprise. Popcorn popping right before my eyes. I'm doing hand motions with all of this, by the way. I can take an armful and make a treat. A popcorn ball that would smell so sweet. It wasn't really so, but it seemed to me. Popcorn popping on the apricot tree. Woo! Yeah.
Wow.
So that's like ingrained in my head since I was a child kind of music. Like I have known that since I was like 5.
So those lyrics are intriguing to me because it doesn't seem like they don't sound religious.
That's the thing. Primary school has some weird like religious undertone things for kids, but not direct.
Okay.
They make it intentionally vague, but also it's like subliminal. It's so funny. Like, like a lot of euphemisms we learned as like little kids, like the iron rod is the word of God or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there was a lot of just really subtle tonage stuff where it's like, this means something and I don't know what it means, but I'm gonna take it as God or something. You know, like, or like choose the right rings. Like, you wear this ring that says CTR, and it means to choose the right, and you get it when you get baptized.
Oh.
And then you can wear this CTR ring.
Okay.
So you can always choose the right. Which, like, God, sure. If you're not traumatized, go for it. But fuck. That did not work very well for me.
Did you go on a mission?
No, thank God. Oh, God. I'm so grateful I didn't go on a mission. My dad pressured my 6 older siblings, so he didn't pressure me. Specifically, my 2 older brothers, of course. But he didn't pressure me, thank God. He knew I wasn't going to fucking do that.
Yeah.
No, he already knew. I knew. I didn't have to tell him. He knew. He didn't have to hear me say it.
So when did you officially leave the Mormon church? How old were you?
Technically, as soon as I turned 18. But I started, like, getting, like, this insane... Okay, I would get panic attacks every morning for, like, 2 years of my life. I'd, like, wake up at 5 in a panic attack and not be good until, like, 10. So I'd either show up at school in a panic attack or, like, get to school late. Those were my options. I was getting, like, no sleep, going to bed at midnight because insomnia. Crazy time in my life. Had a psychotic episode around then.
Ooh.
So around the time of my psychotic episode at 17, I had different issues. I did not care. And the fact I was waking up with panic attacks, it was basically just like, I'm not doing shit. Like, I ain't going to church. Part of my parents' rules is if you live in our house, you go to church.
Uh-huh.
I'm waking up with panic attacks and in psychosis.
Yeah.
If I can't go to church because I'm too messed up, I'm not going to church. So
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, part of them thought it might have been bullcrap, but also, like, knew deep inside, like, no, our kid is, like, unwell right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I technically left around then, and just when I was 18, I transitioned after I graduated, and then became homeless to just stop the feeling I have to go to church, to get some space for my parents. My dad was super not happy about it, and my behavior around it, you know. When you go through psychosis, you gotta cope. So I spent a lot of my younger years coping.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad just let me. He knew I just needed it, I guess.
Right.
Like that.
What spurred on the psychosis and the panic attacks? Do you know?
I've always had paranoia, but it was actually triggered by a spirit.
Whoa.
It was triggered by an entity, and this entity had just been following me around my whole life. I swear. I saw it when I was a kid once, and it was so real. So I had, like, light core hallucinations and delusions as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It was, like, kind of a part of OCD paranoia. Like, oh, I'm always being hunted down. You know, this is also, like, having sexual assaults as a kid, where with all of that repressed, there was just this weird output of constant paranoid, something's gonna get me. But I could always tell when something was a spirit or when it was a, like, delusion. I could just tell. There was a difference. Even with psychosis. You can, like, in psychosis, you can't tell that it's not real, but you can tell it doesn't feel like the things that are real.
Mm-hmm.
This thing that got me was so... I can't even explain it. It was a really intense energy, and I could see it. Like, yeah, it sent me off. I think I've talked about this story in a previous podcast episode, Psychosis in the Spiral. If I haven't, I don't feel like talking about it right now, but it is definitely the thing that triggered the psychosis, and in other ways kind of triggered my path towards going into occultism. Like, it was truthfully, it felt like something doing it for me, not against me.
Okay.
Like, this thing wasn't hunting me down, but it was. It was trying to show me something at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, it was definitely felt different than anything else.
And did you get rid of that thing?
Just never came back.
Oh,
I
wow.
started my psychosis, never saw it again. But
Okay.
ghosts don't fuck with me now. After experiencing, like, delusions where it's like I would have to go to bed in a certain way, like I couldn't get too close to under my bed. I had to be under the blankets under certain times, under certain conditions. I had to turn the lights off in a certain pattern. I couldn't look in some parts of the room or in the stairwell, or I'd see it. And I had like a list of these things. I even drew some of them. Mirrors really fucked with me for my entire life.
Whoa.
Until I had a psychosis, and just after psychosis, I'm like, it's nothing.
Okay.
But a bit before the psychosis too, I was developing the ability to just like tell the delusions to fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta just like flip them off. And now my threat to ghosts is like, I tell ghosts I will eat them.
Okay.
They don't mess with me. Like, they don't even want to talk to me. They think I'm crazy. They know I can see them. And they know I will fuck them up in any way I can figure out how.
Yeah.
And they just don't want to even risk or work
Wow,
with it.
that's interesting. So the magic word that I use when I feel demons or dark entities is the name of Jesus. And I don't believe that Jesus is what I used to believe in religion and Christianity. It's different, but it's still powerful.
So powerful.
Yeah.
And even when you do sample it, like from religion, there's this one thing called the Lord's Prayer.
Oh yeah.
You know that?
Yep.
Super good for dealing with demonic entities and ghosts, especially like Catholic ones. But yeah, Jesus power, oh my God. Doesn't matter how you believe in Jesus. If you call upon Jesus power, you're gonna get something.
Yeah.
Jesus is powerful.
So true.
Yeah.
You guys ought to try that.
Yeah. It was so crazy being raised in a religion where you can tell most of it is brainwash. But then there's like this small group of people who have testimonies of Jesus talking to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's cool. Because there's also the thing of only the prophet can hear God. Anything else is false revelation. But many people feel Jesus, who is God. And they get messages from God/Jesus. It's like, how does having a prophet work? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Plenty of people talk to Jesus.
Yeah.
And God.
Yeah, totally.
It's cool. It's great.
Yeah. It seems like you were targeted from the day you came onto this earth.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because you're such a bright light. And I feel the same way. My story is not as intense as yours, but I would have nightmares almost every night. Just paralyzed with fear. And there was something in my closet. Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks being able to tell as a kid and just be... It's so out of your control as a kid to see, like, an actual thing.
This is where the recording has gotten corrupted, but thank you so much for listening to this episode. Next week's episode is already recorded, and I'm so excited to share it. It is such a lovely guest. Her name's Kathy Benz, but Naomi Psalm, find her in the description. I love her music, and I hope you do as well. We are light, you are love, and I am clarity. Thank you for watching.